So welcome to those people who have come in after I've introduced myself. I'm Nicolette, I'm a yoga teacher, senior yoga teacher, and I am a health and well-being life coach. And I'm going to be talking today very much about how to create a personal and professional success mantra to restore personal power. So why don't we begin? What is a mantra? Maybe you know what a mantra is because you already use it, or you're on that spiritual path and you've been around it for whatever reasons. Well, a mantra can be seen as a sacred text. It can be seen as a hymn, an incantation, a charm, even a spell. And it can simply be a repetition of something that is a focused desire and a conscious desire that you want to bring into the now. And initially it was developed by spirituals who connected the natural sounds around us to really greater universal sounds. And they believed that by sitting still for very long silence times, that we would be able to hear that wonderful universal sound and it would connect us to the universal sound. And this sound is believed to bring us an awareness of clarity. And I know when I'm sitting in silence and I hear what's going on around me, there is this wonderful, wonderful sense of peace and calm as I align with those sounds. So traditional mantras were initially in Sanskrit, which is the original Hindu language, and their sounds create quite a meditative state. Maybe you've noticed it if you've ever chanted in Sanskrit. They're extremely linguistic and they're very, very soothing. And they can create quite a peaceful environment when you chant or repeat your mantras. I'm going to focus tonight mainly on the definition that is a mantra being a repetition of focused, conscious desire. That's what I'd like to focus on. And question, why would we use a mantra? Well, there are lots of different reasons. You can reduce harmful thoughts, and it can also direct your thoughts, which is a very positive thing, because we want to make sure that we have one-pointedness in our thoughts. And the brain's amazing because it can only focus on one thing at one time. So when you do get distracted, you will only focus on the next thing that comes in, unless you redirect your thoughts. So a mantra can keep you very focused in that point. It can also help to reduce fear. So if you experience anxiety and you're worried about certain things, a mantra can really help you to just get back in touch with what it was that you were focusing on. It can help to quieten the mind as well. So when the brain's full of all these different things that keep going on, the noise and the chatter, it will help to quieten you, and that will create a wonderful piece of calm. Calm. Don't we all crave calm and peace? It can help you to reconnect with your inner strength as well. And it's also a bit like I was saying before, when you have a wonderful warm or hot knife and it just slices through butter. A mantra can help you just to slice through your thoughts and just to create clarity and come back to that focused point, because they are really wonderful for reconnecting us to our intention. And I was just saying that an intention, it brings our thoughts to our hearts and our mind and our reality. And Wayne Dyer, he does say that our intention creates our reality, which I think is a beautiful statement, because it really reminds us that what we think about and what we go for is going to become where we're at in life. So here, intentions really connect us to what matters to us, and they're less of a goal and more of an aim and a purpose, and a really lovely attitude to be proud of, actually, when you set an intention. I think it's only 8% that actually stick to intentions from the beginning of the year in the New Year's resolutions. You might call them resolutions or intentions, but only about 8% of people actually stick to them throughout the whole year. So that's another wonderful reason why it's good to have a mantra, because it helps you to stick with that. So let's go on to how we can actually create this professional, wonderful success mantra. Woohoo! It's really easy. It's very straightforward. And because it's personal to you, it should really be effective when you choose to use it, if you choose to use it. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and these questions are what you can answer now in your own time with us, with a piece of paper and pen, or it might be something you want to come back to re-watching the video and just giving it a go in your own time. Whatever you do, I'm really happy with. So first question would be, what's your biggest achievement in your career to date so far? And it doesn't have to be just one, it could be more than one. And I'd like to give it a parameter of, say, 3 to 8. So about 3 to 8 wonderful achievements that you've had along your career lifespan that you think, actually, yeah, I'm really proud of that. I'm glad I did that. So once you've got those, even if you just got one with me right now, let me share with you, as you maybe consider, what mine is. Mine is, I was nominated by my coaching company, the Association of Professional Coaches, Trainers and Consultants, the APCTC, and they nominated me for Health and Wellbeing Coach of the Year in 2015. And of course, totally honoured. And in order to even be seen as, to be shortlisted or to be a winner, it was necessary for me to enroll people. Those people who were my clients or my friends and family who believed in me and believed in what I did and were happy with what I did, to vote for me. And I found that quite uncomfortable because I don't sing my own song, if you see what I mean. I don't talk about myself in that kind of "I'm so wonderful" way. And I found it very, very challenging to ask them to vote for me. They did, though, which was wonderful, and I won. And the year before, in 2014, I'd been nominated and shortlisted, and I'd got to 3rd place. And it was really important to me that in 2015 I won. I set that intention after coming 3rd, and I was determined to win. So when I got nominated and shortlisted again, I was so, just really, really pleased. And then when I won, it was amazing. So for me, that is one of my achievements of my career so far. So I used that when I was going through this process myself. And I'm curious, what's yours? You don't have to share it, but have you got yours? Have you got one, or have you got more than one? Okay, so however many you have, I'd like you to grade them. So grading them from 1 to 10, which means 1, it gave you no pleasure and no joy achieving it. And 10, it gave you absolute pleasure, absolute joy, skip and a hop and a jump. So take a minute just to do that, or to just be with me. And then I want you to think of just one of those, usually the one with the highest rating. Just one that really evokes a feeling of absolute confidence, of something when you reflect back to it, you think strong, you think self-assured, you just feel as though pure joy, pure happiness. Maybe you've got 2 that are along the same line. So which one gives you that pure joy, that pure happiness that makes you feel really, really proud of achieving that? And then have that. You've got this one now, which is your experience when you had your biggest achievement in your career life so far. And I now want you to just consider, really think of one word that encapsulates it. That when you think of that one word, it brings to light, to mind, to feeling how you felt and thought when you achieved that one thing. And one of my clients, hers, when I took her through this, her word was believe, because she came from a small town where nobody really stepped out of their comfort zone, and her parents and her friends and other parts of her family did not support her desire to be a lawyer. And she wanted to be a lawyer. She wanted to move from where she lived. She wanted to go to London. And they were kind of pulling at her to bring her back in mind and physically. And she was, no, this is what I want to do. So eventually she went to London, and she did her degree and she did her pupillage, and now she's a lawyer. And she said to me that that was the achievement that got the highest rating when she did this, but also her mantra, her success, her professional success mantra is believe, I believe. Because when she was being pulled back so many times, she said, by her friends and her family to not stay in London, to not continue what she was doing, to not pursue her dreams, she remembers that actually it's because she believed in what she wanted. And yeah, there were moments of doubt, she said, but it was just something that was in here, that wouldn't let her go back and settle. And she didn't judge those who were in her hometown, because that's obviously where they wanted to be. But she felt she was different. And so her word was believe. When she thinks of the word believe in her professional life, she shared with me that she just feels like she conquered, the negative energies that she received from her family and her friends. And she did what she wanted to do. So, I'm inviting you, when you do this, either with me now or on your own, to consider what is that one word that brings to your heart, to your mind, to your soul, that emotion, that thought process of how you felt during that time of achieving what you did. For me, it's courage, because as I said to you, I don't, it's not in my nature to say how wonderful I am. And I found it very challenging to ask people to vote for me. Why vote for me? And I had to do a video, I had to say how wonderful I am and why you should vote for me and all these different things. And I had to dig deep for that. I did it, yes, of course, because I reframed the way I looked at this success and this achievement. And because of that reframing, I was able to reach my goal. My word is courage. When I come to that word of courage, I know that I can do everything. I can achieve whatever challenge comes in front of me. And when I'm in that challenge, I know I can get through it. So my word's courage. I ask, what's yours, when you come to do this, or if you're doing it now. So that is really, it's so simple to create your professional success mantra. And that is literally how you would do it, to be honest. Love to know your thoughts on that. If anybody out there wants to just share what you got from that. You want to tap in. It's great, I'm still alive. Ah, yeah! Anybody want to share anything? Stubborn. Love that. Yeah, okay. All right, so, let's talk about, just with regards to your professional mantra, you can, I realise that, look, stubborn is your mantra, which is an interesting one. So I'd be so curious to know how that serves you, because I always think of stubborn as being something that holds us back or doesn't support us. So that is a wonderful mantra that I would love just to, to hear more about it, but you don't have to share it with me. I'm just asking. So when you do your professional mantra, you can do it any time where you feel that you need some support from yourself. It can be something like sending a really good email, a really challenging email to somebody that you just need some focus on. And you just take a few moments just to say that word and just to remind yourself that you're going to be able to do it, and you can compose it and you can create it, or maybe you've got a meeting to go to, or you're stepping into something really powerful and something really new, and it's overwhelming. It's very possible to overcome those feelings if you've got something that focuses you, and that's what this professional success mantra does. Just having a look at some of the notes here. Kath, sharing that you find things like that really, really difficult. And here, thank you for being honest and saying that. And the task is easy, meaning that it's simple. But actually applying it, I hear that it might not be as easy. But sometimes it's about taking time, isn't it? It's just about switching everything off and going through something like this yourself. And if nothing comes out of it, so you then judge yourself. But the more we explore what's going on within, the more we explore what it is we want out of ourselves and our lives, the more, like any habit, the easier it gets. So I thank you, Kath, for sharing that. And Rachel, thank you for sharing yours, which is free, freedom. Wonderful. Yeah. I resonate with that a lot, that feeling of when you feel a little challenged, just knowing that you have the choice to be free is freeing in itself. So thank you, Rachel, for sharing that. Let's go on to creating your personal mantra. So it might be the professional mantra, A, doesn't resonate with you, B, you don't need it, or that the personal mantra just supports you a little more. Every day is so different for each and every one of us, and sometimes you literally cruise through life with no challenges on a day, and it just feels, whoa, I'm invincible. And there are other days, and it could be just 24 hours later, the next day, so soon, where everything just seems so challenging, so hard, and you don't have much patience, and people not working with you, and the lights when you're driving are against you, and all of these different things. So I want you to consider this personal mantra creation to see if it can support you during those times. Your personal success mantra is a bit like a radio aerial, that retunes you back into your true self, back into your alignment. And that's what I use it for in my quiet time with mala beads, or just with nothing, just me on my mat, just coming back to that wonderful, safe space that, as Rachel said, it gives me freedom. Just knowing that I am able to do that. I don't have to be on my mat to do that. I can do that anywhere. That's the wonderful thing when you realize you can have quiet time everywhere and anywhere. So let's talk about how you create your success mantra that is personal to you. You can do this now, you can do this in your own time, no problem. You're going to sit comfortably, you're going to sit in a quiet space, and I want you to consider what's really important to you right now, in this time, in this moment. So it might be family, it might be friends, it might be getting a new job, it might be giving something up, it might be something as simple as drinking more water, whatever it is, what's really important to you, what matters to you most right now. So you're either considering that with me, or you'll do it another time, no problem. And then take a minute just to decide what you're going to focus on. So, what is that one thing that matters to you right now? Whether it's an idea, whether it's an aim to set on that intention, or whether it's an emotion that really resonates with you. And then when you've got it, I invite you to declare it to yourself as if it's happening right now. So perhaps you want to change something in your life. So you might say something like, I'm making changes to my life right now that nourish me, that serve me. So you're in this very moment, you're living it, you're doing it. Or it might be something like you are looking for love. So I am open to receiving and giving abundant love. You're doing it right now, right here, in this moment. Or if it's, again, that you want to make change, it could be that I am courage. You are courage. So, maybe it's about money and wanting to not be in the world of lack. And so it could be that I have all I need to live in abundance. So whatever it is that you've chosen and you've desired, of what it is that matters to you right now, just take a minute, or whenever you do in the future, to declare it to yourself as if you're living in it right now. And then it's important to note, actually, that your personal success mantra, it should be authentic, should be from the heart, and it should be something that is individual to you alone, so that when you come back to it, you 100% resonate with it immediately, because you created it. And then I invite you, with that personal success mantra, to repeat it. So remember, our definition is about repeating something that is about a strong desire that we wish to create. So you can repeat it as often as you need, in times when you need it. Or if you want something a bit more formal, you could repeat it when you are in your quiet time. So I use mala beads, which are these wonderful beads used in order to help you with mantras and chanting. There are 108 on the beads, but they also have half of that and then half of that again. So half of 108 and then half of that 56 or 52 and 54. My maths is terrible, but it goes in halves and halves. It could be a bracelet, it could be a necklace, it could be a smaller version, but 108 usually, and you can use those to repeat your mantra 108 times. Apparently they believe that 108 times, there are many reasons why it's 108, but one of them is that they believe that 108 is the number that will allow you to ascend, to take you to that higher plane of samadhi, enlightenment. So it might be, irrespective of whether you actually step into that thought, it could be a great way to keep you focused and knowing that you have repeated it X amount of times. So if you choose to have something quite formal, just having quiet time could be lovely, and sitting and repeating whatever yours is. Mine is, I have everything I need to fly. I have everything in place to fly. So there's nothing that I need. I've got it right here, and I can achieve exactly what I need. So from, in the morning when I'm in my quiet time, you can call it meditation, you can call it prayer, you can call it whatever you need to call it. That's what I would be repeating to remind myself and keep me present and grounded. There's nothing that I need more than what I have. I am enough. And because of that, I'm able to succeed and achieve and fly. So what's yours, if you care to share? So that really is it in a nutshell. It's so wonderful that I'm still live and it's still going on, and that you're still with me, and I thank you so much for that. I'd love to get any feedback, any thoughts, anything that comes up for you from what I've shared with you about creating a professional and personal success mantra. Laura says we are all enough. We have what we need. And it's so true. I think that we are bombarded with so many counterproductive words and images and audio that tells us differently, that often we buy into it and it creates conflict. And that's why I think mantras are so good, because they bring you back to what is the truth, not what's manufactured and not what is someone else's interpretation of who you are. You know who you are, without a doubt. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you again, Club Soda, Laura Willoughby, for having me here. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, that's it for now. Let's just say over and out and good night. Thank you.